Hello, everyone. This is Michael Schutzler, the CEO of Live Mocha, and I'm super excited to have you join us today. I am thrilled to have the opportunity to share with you the launching of the coaching program with Live Mocha, and got a brief overview of the program for you today. We're going to cover a number of different topics, and I just want to begin by telling you that I'm extremely excited about this program because it is by far the most important thing that I believe that the company has ever done. And frankly, I've only been with the company for about a year now, and this is the number one project that I wanted to launch literally since starting with the company a year ago. So I'm extremely excited to kick this off today, and I'm thrilled that so many of you have joined us today on this webinar. Today, we have a brief agenda here of some prepared statements and comments. And what we're going to cover is four topics. One, why are we doing this coaching program? Two, what is a language coach? And we're going to compare that to, for example, what is a language teacher or what is a language tutor? And then we're going to address a number of recommendations based on our experience and my own personal experience serving as a professional coach for many years, what some recommendations are for how you can be successful as a language coach, and in particular, how you can be successful as a language coach in this program. And then finally, I want to wrap this up by just re-emphasizing how important it is that we work together on this, and that our mission is to create a mechanism in which you are successful and you are successful with your student clients, and as a result we are all successful together. So I'm really excited about this project, and look forward to talking about this with you for the next 20 to 25 minutes or so. To begin with, all of you are already members of Live Mocha and active tutors and supporters of Live Mocha. And as such, we are grateful for the support that you have shown and the active contributions that you have made frankly, in some of your cases, for many years. We are the world's largest language learning community. And just to make that point clear and to share some data with you, I want to share some statistics that make that point, really bring that point home. We are a community now of over 9 million registered members. In fact, we're getting really close to 9.5 million this month alone. We are a community of 9 million people who are helping each other learn 35 languages. Every single day, we have at least 120,000 people arrive at Live Mocha from over 190 countries. We have over 50,000 language exercises and reviews that take place every single day. There are over 20,000 live chat practice sessions among members helping each other learn languages every day. And we already have about 45,000 teachers around the world who are using Live Mocha every day as an extension to their classroom curriculum. So far, you have been an integral process and a significant contributor to helping us become the largest language learning community. And I just want to make sure it's clear for all of you. I know this has been talked about in public in a number of media outlets, but I just want to make sure it's super clear that our mission as a company is to create a world in which every human being is fluent in multiple languages. And that means that we need to have language learning that is affordable and accessible and engaging for everyone. And in order to do that, we're going to have to address a number of things, and we're going to talk about that in just a minute. The reason why this is so critical, and the reasons why we believe this is an opportunity, frankly, of a lifetime, is that globalization is already a political and economic reality of our world. There is a spectacular language and culture chasm that has formed over the last 10 to 15 years in particular as a result of some really significant technology and economic changes that have taken place over the last, in particular, 12 years. Last year, 250 million people changed homes from one country to another just to pursue a job. The middle classes are growing exponentially in purchasing power and political power in Brazil, Russia, India, and China. So the BRIC countries are growing tremendously, changing a balance of power both in economics and politics. There are 2 billion people on the planet with internet access, and over 5 billion people on the planet with mobile phone access. It's really quite dramatically different from just 10 years ago. There isn't a company on earth that can be successful unless it has global work teams. It's not just about big companies like Boeing or Microsoft or IBM or even large pharmaceutical companies like AstraZeneca. It doesn't really matter. Even the smallest company needs to be full of work teams that include employees from all over the world. And then you add to that the impact of social networking like Facebook, with 650 million people coming to that website every month, and in many cases every day, actively communicating and participating in all kinds of information sharing. And then finally, distance learning, which used to be just about getting a GED or maybe an associate's degree via mail order, and now the best universities in the world are teaching and providing their best courses through online mechanisms to allow students from around the world to participate without actually setting foot on the campus itself. What does that all boil down to? It all boils down to a massive language and culture chasm that needs to be solved, and therefore the demand for language and cultural training has become an imperative all around the globe. In the next 10 years, 1 billion people will be seeking the mastery of the English language. In fact, right now, at this particular moment, there are nearly 300 million people in China learning English at various stages from beginner to advanced. There are another billion people over the next 10 years who will seek to learn the other top 10 languages, which include French, Italian, German, Spanish, Portuguese, Japanese, Mandarin, Arabic, and a number of other languages, including Russian and Korean. It is a gigantic opportunity for people like you to help close the gap of language skills and cultural understanding so that our work teams and our, frankly, political processes around the world function much more successfully. It's just one problem in all of that, and as you all know, learning a second language is a very challenging undertaking. In particular, it's challenging for anyone over the age of 25. The reason it's so challenging is because our brains are reasonably well settled in their wiring by that age. And so, although it's true that a 5-year-old can learn a language faster than a 25-year-old, there's an enormous amount of rewiring that takes place between the ages of 5 and 25. And if you don't continue to use that language on a regular basis, you will lose it. And you're back to square one at the age of 25. And the reason why this particular issue matters is because the vast majority of people in Live Mocha, and for that matter, in most of the language learning services around the world, are young adults, and ever more and more middle-aged adults who are faced with the challenge of learning a second language, which is both a physiological challenge as well as a psychological challenge, as you all well know. There is over 50 years of research that makes clear that in order to successfully attain and retain a second language, you need peers. You need the support of peer groups, because all language students lose heart, and in the end, they get their motivation and their ability to sustain their studies through partnership with peers. What's interesting about Live Mocha is we often get a positive reputation. We get a big pat on the back from people in the media and also from large players and large companies in this industry about being the most successful social networking experiment in the language learning industry. The truth is, Language is already a social mechanism. Turns out that if I'm fluent in German and I'm learning English, then when I meet someone who's fluent in English and wants to learn German, our language pair is enough of an icebreaker for the two of us who have nothing in common to begin a conversation and to try to formulate our thoughts in a new language, and in the process make mistakes, have a few laughs, and in that process begin to understand each other and learn about what our views are about everything from history to sports to the weather to how to order certain foods, what our certain favorite foods are, what our favorite topics are, whether they're politics or history or a good book. And in that process, we learn an enormous amount of vocabulary, and we learn through the experience of broken, rudimentary conversation. We learn understanding, and we learn through those associations the mechanism in our brain in order to retain the new vocabulary and grammar that we're working with. Live Mocha has delivered on this very successfully now for 4 years. We offer more language study partners than all the other online services combined. The average time it takes for you to get feedback on an exercise at Live Mocha is about 5 minutes. That's because we have so many people in the service. The interesting point here, and the reason why we're launching a coaching program, is that everything that Live Mocha has done to date is not enough. Now, it turns out that when a student looks at the language learning challenge, what they see feels an awful lot like climbing a really big mountain. And most of them look at this, and after trying a few flashcards and after trying a few different exercises, they realize there's work. They realize they don't really know the right process for learning. And many of them give up because they look at it as entirely too daunting to figure out on their own. In the same way that if you've never climbed a mountain before, you will look at it and wonder, even with some experience in climbing some kind of mountain, this particular one looks really daunting. How do you even start? The truth is, they want you. The vast majority of our members want an expert guiding hand. That means they want someone that understands the language they're learning and understands the process of learning a language so that you can deliver a kind word in a moment where they're really struggling. And sometimes you just need to give them a swift kick in the rear because they're just not feeling very motivated and they don't want to climb that mountain today. And they just need someone to say, yes, you can. Let's get going. Let's keep working on this. And in the same way that a Sherpa will help a mountaineer get to the summit of a new mountain, you as the language coach are in a position to help someone do the work necessary to attain the language skills that they're trying to gain.